Welcome back, everybody. My name's Josiah Matsumoto.
And I'm Carl Matsumoto.
And this is Motorsport. Oh, man, it's been a long time. Like
I know.
a year? Honestly,
Feels like it.
It does. It feels like a whole new season.
Well, it's been even longer since we've had Jared here.
I know. We missed you.
That's true. It's been a long time since we did this.
Yeah.
Years.
Like years.
Wow.
This is what I'm saying.
Welcome back, everyone, to the new season.
The
Yes.
new season, Formula One.
I love it. And what a new season it is looking to be. Okay, I don't know. Good to see some upgrades. Good to see some things shaken up. It's nice. Not terribly different, but yeah.
New sprint format.
New sprint format was
Good to see Checo.
Good to see Checo. We'll get into that.
Checo's doing great this new season.
This new
Yes,
season,
this new
Checo's
season.
coming out strong.
Coming out with a bang. Okay, real quick housekeeping, I guess. Follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. Subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Please subscribe. Give us a review. We want to hear your thoughts. Also follow us on social media at MotorsportPod is the handle.
Everywhere.
Or TikTok. Wait, is it different on TikTok?
Mm-mm.
Oh, no. Cool. MotorsportPod.
LinkedIn.
That'd be so funny.
We'll talk about that
I
later.
should make that my LinkedIn account. Just Motorsport.
Just Motorsport.
Yeah.
You'll get
I
some
hate
good
LinkedIn.
offers. Also, email us at motorsportpod@gmail.com. And if you didn't watch the race already, go watch the race or a recap or check out grid notes on our Instagram page at motorsportpod. Great.
Nice.
Moving on.
Good housekeeping.
Yeah. Wait, do we do news first?
Okay, but there was a lot of news. So I'm going to try and
We'll see if we get to it all.
we'll see if we get to it all. I'm going to break it up into two sections. The first section is called Misbehaving Men. This is just generally about the sexism that is in this sport.
Yes.
And the news that happened over our long 4-week break.
Ooh.
So first, there were more recent allegations against President of the FIA, Mohammed Ben Sulayem, for making sexist comments and bullying. And there was apparently, this came out late last year, December of 2022. And then there's been new allegations, and the FIA is just sort of like sweeping it under the rug and not really addressing it. It's apparently like a known thing with him. So
That he's sexist? Mm-hmm. Sure.
I mean, the sport that's just sort of par for the course in the sport, but
Not
it's like,
surprising.
you need to address it.
Yeah, talk about it. Nobody, like, this has been out since last fall, you said? Or winter? Mm-hmm. That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't even heard about it.
So that was news number one,
Ugh.
Misbehaving Men. The other piece of news was, did you guys hear about the controversy with the Pit Stop Boys?
Pit Stop Boys? Yeah. Wait, no. But the Pit Stop Boys
I think I picked the wrong time to get off social media. A little bit. I haven't been keeping up with this at all.
I'm not missing
This is
this.
Learning this live.
Well, I'm now so like deeply embedded in the TikTok
Sure.
fandom F1 world, and it is a
algorithm.
wild place. So to give you the rundown, the Pit Stop Boys, they are
A new band?
no podcast. They're a podcast.
Oh, they're a podcast?
Yeah,
Oh.
and they started kind of similar to like a lot of new fans, as their marketing is like, we don't know a lot about the sport, we just love
Sure.
F1, just got into it. And I think they're based in London. I'm
Okay.
not quite sure where they're from, but they did they collaborated with a podcast called Screaming Meals, which is hosted by a former F2 driver, Marcus Armstrong.
Okay.
He's in New Zealand. And they had on this podcast in particular Apparently there was a lot of alcohol and people were getting misbehaving, but they had Juan Manuel Correa on the podcast, who is the F2 driver who was the other driver in the crash in 2019 with Antoine Hubert, who took Antoine's life. And he was the other driver. He sustained major leg injuries and has been open and vocal about like the FIA once he got his injuries, no support at all. And he has worked his way back and came back.
He's driving again?
Yeah, and is driving again.
Wow.
In Formula 2. But he was like, no thanks to the FIA or Formula 1. They didn't give me a lot of support.
Sure.
And so like he has this wild story and this wild traumatic event, and he goes on this podcast, and the Pit Stop Boys, the comment that blew up was they were like, no one gives a fuck about your racing and what you do on the track. No one cares. It's well known by now that everyone only cares about your personal lives and what you do off the track. No one cares who wins the championship.
What?
And they said this to him, and like everyone in the F1 social media space went wild. Specifically, like all the female creators who were like, these are two white men who have gotten paddock passes, have gotten interviews in the paddock with drivers, and they are here saying that no one cares about the racing itself. People only care about the drama around the lives of the F1 driver, F2 drivers, and it was like this whole thing of like this wave of like, well, we should support more women creators because they're way more intelligent. And yes, they do care about the sport itself, not just fangirls.
The sport matters.
It was a wild.
Wow.
When, and this was in the past
weeks? This was in between Australia and now, the past few weeks.
Boys, gross.
Yeah, so people went on, they tanked their ratings.
Ha! Nice.
But yeah, it's like,
that's wild.
You have this incredible opportunity to interview this driver who
you're just trash talking.
Has an incredible story. And
and clearly,
and they also said to Juan Manuel Correa, they were like, I didn't know who you were until you came on this podcast.
What?
I was like
you gotta do your research. Come on.
You're gonna have him on.
They are just sitting there saying we don't research anything about this sport.
Yes.
They're like, all we are paying attention to is the personal lives.
Right.
Right.
And why? Like, why have someone on who's clearly like had a rough time in the sport for obvious reasons and like a traumatic experience and is a fighter and like worked incredibly hard to get back to where he is. And doing great again. Like, like most people wouldn't even be able to do that at all, especially after sustaining that type of injury.
Yeah, and apparently Juan Manuel Correa went back on the Pit Stop Boys podcast because he's like a nice person and like wanted to help them reframe their image. And I was like, what? What is going on here?
Wow.
You did not have to do that after they blatantly disrespected you.
True. Whoa. Come on our podcast.
Right?
Instead. We totally know more.
In Spain.
Actually, yeah. Also, if you want to say hi in Spain, I mean, we'd love to meet you.
Yes.
You want to talk to people that are less problematic and way less experienced at making a podcast?
Yeah.
Hit us up.
But yeah, that was a whole thing that like happened and
Wow.
Within the time off.
Time off.
Right?
Yeah. It's a weird one.
Yeah.
Honestly. Too much time off. Like, you can do too many things.
The last piece of Misbehaving Men, it's not quite Misbehaving Men, but it is just about sexism in the sport. F1 Academy started their season this weekend as well. And
they started this weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And so which is great, except for everyone was really excited about it, and then come to find out they're not going to stream or broadcast any of their races or any of their stuff. And it's like,
No, like in no way. Like you
No,
can't
you can only
find it
see
anywhere?
highlights and
That's ridiculous.
standings, yeah.
Wait, can you? What? Okay. What about other supporting races? Do they stream Formula 2 and Formula 3? I don't even know.
yeah, that's all on F1 TV.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Is Formula 3?
I
Maybe
don't
not
know.
three.
F2 is.
F2 is.
You can watch the races. Maybe
Okay, but they're
qualifying?
not going to do the Formula. What about Formula E?
Everything gets broadcast.
It is all there.
Yeah.
Okay, but they're not
Wait.
broadcasting.
Formula E isn't on F1 TV, is it?
No, I don't think so.
I wish. I want to watch that.
But I think it's probably on like ESPN.
Yeah. I think you can find it.
But I don't
and
think
you're saying no broadcasting of any kind
Yes.
for Formula One Academy.
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And it's like you're trying to promote women in the sport.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna.
But you're not
let
even gonna
anybody like.
watch the race?
Yeah. How can we get to know these
Yeah.
drivers if we can't see them? Like,
It's ridiculous.
but there is talk that Susie Wolf is in conversations with Reese Witherspoon's production company.
What?
And
Okay.
Okay, this sounds
So-
cool.
I don't know. There's not much else that's been said about it, but they had a meeting, and so maybe there's something cool coming out of that,
That's exciting.
I know.
I hope so.
right?
I hope because I could see that going two ways. Obviously, a documentary series about the sport would be incredible, or a movie, whatever
Yeah.
feature. But also a feature, like like a dramatic. That could be fun.
Give me a fictional
Give
story
me a fictional one.
about the first female driver in F1.
Ooh, that sounds fun. Yeah, like an inspired by.
Yeah. But like kind of a fictional take
Sure.
on like how it could look.
Sure.
You
love
know what
it.
I mean?
I
Yeah.
love that. Yeah. Into it. I'm into all of it. I hope they do
I
all
know.
of it. Do
So-
multiple projects.
We'll see.
Also, Susie Wolf, killing it.
I know. It's great.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
Okay, so the other section is rumors, and I'm just gonna run through these really fast.
Rumors.
Rumor.
Rumors and zoom in the news.
Zoom in the news. Misbehavemen.
Subsections here.
And rumors.
Great.
Yeah.
First rumor, Fernando Alonso dating Taylor Swift.
Oh.
That's the first
yeah.
rumor that
What a strange connection.
apparently an anonymous source put that out into a celebrity gossip
So
Was
column.
it Pit Stop Boys?
Right? They're like,
they're-
we
they're-
gotta get something. Oh, we gotta get this off of our back right now.
we're on top of the culture also. Yeah. Wait, so no, were there like pictures or anything, or just like this is
This
purely
is fully just
rumors?
rumors.
Rumors.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Alonso
an-
is playing into it. he was
Really?
he was asked directly
He was?
this weekend about the rumors, and he wouldn't say. He was just like, I'm single, but
Well, I don't know. How many kids does he have?
does he have kids?
Does he not? I'll look it up.
I do know that, yeah, he just broke up with his girlfriend or whatever. So there's that. The other rumor.
No children.
That's what I thought. He doesn't seem like he has kids.
No, but he's just that age where you could assume. Like Checo has kids, so
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, maybe.
He's just been nonstop at the highest level of his sport for so long.
it's true.
You take so much of the year.
It does. It does. It's hard
You don't have time for
to have a
kids.
family. Yeah.
No. This next one is less of a rumor, more of a theory. It's the Lewis thirst trap theory.
Oh, I love
So
this.
there's a theory.
I don't think I know this.
There's a theory that every time Lewis posts a shirtless thirst trap, it's announced that there's some sort of big shakeup in the F1 world, like among the teams. It's apparently happened where he posted a shirtless selfie, and then it was announced that Daniel Ricciardo was getting let go from McLaren.
Yeah.
He posted a shirtless selfie. Mick Schumacher was getting let go from Haas. Shirtless selfie when
Vettel
Seb
retired,
retired. And then earlier this week, he posted a shirtless selfie, and then it was announced that Franz Tost was retiring from
wild.
AlphaTauri at the end of the year.
He's just like preemptively setting the balance in the world. He's like, I know you're gonna need this, so I'm gonna just put it out there, and then you'll hear some chaos, and it'll be okay.
I love this theory. I'm not trying to poo-poo on it, but like maybe skeptic in me is saying, could it be that this is a very dramatic sport where a
That's
lot
what
of
I
things
said.
happen, and he posts a lot of times without a shirt on?
Right?
Like you're named a lot of things that were lined up pretty close to each other.
All not that long
And-
ago.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know.
And then I'm like, okay, well, we'd have to check to see, is it every single time
Right.
he
See,
posts?
this is what yeah.
And is it every big news, like piece of news?
See, I'm just reporting
Yeah.
what I'm hearing.
Yeah, no,
We just clearly need the Pit Stop Boys to do some more research for us.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this is what's in your wheelhouse.
Yeah. Get on it. Look at the thirst traps and correlate it with the news.
But now I do want to pay more attention.
Yeah, I'm curious
Because I
moving
do
forward.
feel like he does post a lot of shirtless
And there is
Yeah.
a lot of drama in the sport.
Yeah, right. Like those things both happen all the time in this sport.
Yeah, they kind of just go hand in hand.
Yeah.
wild theory, but I'm very curious about it now.
Yeah.
A lot of things happened to Leclerc during the break.
Leclerc. Leclerc is having a moment.
This is a whole section.
Yeah.
Another subsection.
Poor Leclerc. People are coming to his house. His address was publicized.
Yep. People are robbing
he had
him.
to put out a statement.
He's chasing people after his watch.
chasing
Or did
people
that
in
happen
his-
earlier? Doesn't
No,
matter.
that was he
during the break.
had his watch stolen.
Yeah, and he had to chase
Which
the thieves.
I don't understand because he was in his car.
Yeah.
And they came up to get an autograph and somehow
How do
stole
you
his
get
watch
his
from
watch?
his wrist.
People,
And
people train how to.
well,
how
yeah,
to-
True,
and
true,
that's
true.
fair. But then, how do they get to a car and drive away? And then he's chasing it. And what do you get? I don't know. I want to see it.
these people sound like they know what they're doing.
Maybe.
This was not the first time.
This was not a
they
willy-nilly-
grabbed a watch from a celebrity. I think.
Yeah, no.
Interesting.
Or a rich person.
How much was that watch worth? Like
Millions. I'm
Millions?
Sure, I don't know. I'm sure it was
People-
worth a lot of money.
Yeah. Thousands.
I knew it was like
for
pretty
sure.
much a one of a kind, right? It was
Mm-hmm.
like custom made.
Probably millions.
Yeah.
I
But
thought hundreds of thousands.
then he put out a song and it's
Yeah.
trending, doing well.
Top 10
Apple
songs.
Music. And he apparently said that he would do a music collaboration with Lewis Hamilton, but he was like, I don't know what kind of music Lewis likes. If he likes depression music, then we can collaborate, I think.
Oh, so okay.
Like-
Self-categorized as depression music. That's Leclerc's
This break,
perspective.
I decided to follow Leclerc on Instagram. I had never actually followed him on anything.
Sure.
And I was like, there's so much going on here. I got to follow this.
I mean, yeah, he's doing
yeah.
a lot. He's
a lot
very
happening.
involved. He's got the sponsorships. He's got the looks. He's got the
the
breakups,
looks.
I guess, recently.
Semi-recently, yeah.
Semi-recently.
He's single.
I think that
Yeah, he
was
is single.
preseason.
Yeah, it was preseason.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
But he is single.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always a bonus for the feed.
Right. Him and Fernando Alonso. Single.
Single.
Wink, wink.
Well, maybe.
Maybe,
Single.
maybe. What a weird
Might
pairing.
be
We
dating Taylor
didn't
Swift.
talk about this really at all. We kind of moved on. We brushed past it. But that is a weird. How do you connect those two parties, like Taylor and Fernando?
I mean, there must
how
have
did
been
that
like
happen?
they've like met before, and like
Oh.
we don't know. There's like a lot of like probably just random instances,
I think
both being very famous.
She's been at races.
Yeah.
Oh, has she?
Yeah.
I didn't even know she was into the sport. Although I really pay zero attention to
I know.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I agree. I feel like
Yeah.
I've seen her show up in the like footage of the crowds before.
Oh, sure.
Or like when they show celebrities at races.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That okay.
So yeah, I think that's sort of
And
where
celebrities.
it
So
stems from.
yeah.
And like she recently broke up with her long-term boyfriend, and he
I didn't
recently
even...
broke up, and so who knows? Okay, last thing. Gunter's book, Surviving to Drive, came out.
Yes, I did hear about this.
Surviving to Drive?
It's like a
Hell yeah.
diary-esque version of the 2022 season. It apparently is not very nice to Mick Schumacher. And so if you've noticed a lot of Mick Schumacher content on Mercedes, like Instagram and social media, it's because Mercedes was trying to preemptively make
Boost
Mick
him.
look good and everything before the book.
Surviving to Drive.
They really have been pushing Mick.
Right?
I was
Yeah.
wondering.
That's-
I was like, you don't really hear about like reserve
Reserve
much. I mean,
drivers.
yeah.
But I don't care. He's Mick Schumacher.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I wanna
Right?
know.
Why not? I don't think he's a bad driver even necessarily. Like, I think he
No.
could have used some more time to like get warmed up, and obviously the Haas was a bad car, so like, yeah. I don't blame him for his performance, and yeah,
But Gunther does.
sure. I mean, obviously Hulkenberg is a better choice for that seat, and having those two experienced drivers in the car is getting you better results than last season. But like, yeah, he's not a bad driver.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
no expert, but
Well,
most of the
you haven't read the
experts
book
agree
yet.
with me. I haven't read the book.
Yeah, I don't know
Sure.
what is said in the book.
Surviving to Drive.
I know, right?
Surviving to Drive.
Wow. So original.
So silly. So silly.
Incredible.
Also related to Mick Schumacher, apparently some German company conducted an AI interview with Michael Schumacher. Like I don't know, you know that
What?
thing that you can do to regenerate like holograms kind of thing? Like,
Like,
Holograms?
they had a projection literally of him.
yeah, and they like
Of
used
Michael?
AI to like say like to like conduct an interview with him.
An AI that was like programmed to be Mick Schumacher.
Michael Schumacher. The late Michael yeah.
Michael Schumacher.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And so
Wait. Okay.
it's like
What happened
Yeah,
with
what?
that?
you can't,
What?
they're suing this company because obviously they
Oh, they didn't have permission.
didn't
for
have
this.
permission from the Schumacher family
Yeah.
to generate like
That's so weird. It's
don't
also
know why
like,
you would even
yeah,
do
why?
that.
Why? I don't.
What?
Why? Because
That's
even
so
if you did that,
weird.
it's like even if you did it, it's all based on
What?
public image of him. It's not even. It could never actually be a true representation of whoever he is. It's just like a
exactly.
based on.
Yeah.
What's the point? I don't.
What?
I don't know.
Okay. I don't understand a lot of those uses with some of this new
What?
technology. I'm like, why though? Like, why that? Like, you
What?
could do a lot of cool things with AI technology.
I think it's like
Why
kind
are
of
we
a
doing that?
test
Sure,
of things. Like I get it from a
but get permission.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you can't just
if you're gonna test, like, yeah, base it on yourself even, or like whatever. Like, if experimenting is different than like talking about and promoting like an interview with the late Michael Schumacher. Wait, is he even dead yet?
I didn't hear that he died.
Yeah, he was
He's been
basically
unconscious,
Oh,
comatose.
not
unconscious.
communicatable for years.
For a long time.
Sure.
Yeah.
And there's nobody who's seen him but the family. They're not releasing a lot of details, and I don't think they need to.
Yeah, no.
I like
Agreed,
really
yeah,
understand
yeah,
them.
Yeah.
Fully.
Yeah.
It's just a tough.
So we just kind of don't know, and I'm like, that's
yeah,
fine.
But he's not dead.
Oh wait, so then that's even more
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's more messed up.
that's even
Really
more
weird.
messed up.
It's more messed
Yeah.
up. Yeah. Yeah. That's weird.
God, it's a long
I know.
a lot of news.
lot of news.
All right, let's talk about Baku.
Baku. It was kind of a whirlwind of a weekend with
It was. The sprint race format this year is so confusing and chaotic and unnecessary and weird.
Can you lay it out start to finish?
I'm not sure.
I don't know if I can. I'm like,
So, yeah.
kind of.
Basically, usually you would have, in a regular weekend, you'd have 3 free practices, then qualifying on Saturday, and then the race on Sunday. And
qualifying is what sets up your positions for the race on Sunday.
Yes.
correct. Now, the sprint race formally, which has been at around 3 races the last few seasons. Yeah, I think 3 races the last 2 or 3 years. It was an in-between qualifying and the race. So you do qualifying, and that sets you up for the sprint race. And then however you finish the sprint race is how you start the Grand Prix the next day. So it allowed for a lot of switch-ups between qualifying and the starting grid. Kind of interesting, fascinating, another quick race, whatever. Only happened 3 times.
Yeah, I really thought that's what this was going to be when they said sprint race.
Yes.
And I was like,
Now-
oh,
They
okay.
changed
The
it.
teams didn't like that format anyways, but they don't like this new format either. But this new format is, okay, so now the sprint race is basically unrelated to anything else going on this weekend.
Correct. Yeah.
So you get 1 practice now,
And then you go
And then you go
straight into qualifying.
qualifying for Sunday.
Sunday.
And you do that on Friday. So you have a practice on Friday, and then you do qualifying on Friday. So your car is not even as ready as it would normally be for qualifying, and may not have the right setup. It's a lot harder to get to. Then the next day you have another practice? I don't even know.
I think so. You think you have another practice, and then you have a condensed shootout.
Yeah, qualifying.
And then
And
for the sprint
just
race
for the sprint.
specifically.
Oh, that's the piece that I missed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the starting grid for the sprint? They
There
did
was a
They did a
separate
separate qualifying
Yes.
for the
same
sprint.
day as the sprint race. So on Saturday, they have that qualifying, which sets you up for the sprint race. And then you have the sprint race. And then the top 8
Get
finishers get points, extra points towards the the championship.
Right.
So
it's
that
just literally
part,
a different race that happens
Yes.
the
yes,
same
It's-
weekend.
it's literally an extra race.
It's just a
and
shorter race.
yeah.
It's a mini race.
It's a mini race, and it just
Whoa.
it ups the risk. It makes it more worthwhile to fight for those points for the drivers, which makes it more dangerous, which makes more
we saw.
Yep, and might
R.I.P.
cause more
Max.
collisions. More collisions, more damage, more money into the sport, obviously. And that's the whole point, is the FIA wants more money in the sport. So
Yeah, and especially throw that on a street race.
yeah.
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 That's just
And there's a whole thing about tire requirements and whatnot, and that's all confusing and specific and weird and strange. And they're doing it 6 times this year for some reason.
this sprint thing.
Yes.
This sprint race format,
that
is
annoying?
happening 6 times this season.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot to put on people. It's a lot for like everybody. It's just ridiculous.
Is this their alternative to like they wanted to have like 3 more races this year or something like that, and the teams were like no, and maybe they're like okay, we got to figure out another.
Well, no, because they almost did it, but it was the teams didn't say no because they can't to more races.
Yeah,
There is a limit to how many races they could do. They almost hit it, but China dropped out, and so they're like 1 or 2 races short of the maximum races they can do. The teams didn't like the previous sprint format, so the FIA was trying to find a way to keep the sprint and have another exhibition race because they're determined to do that. And just to sell more tickets and to have another thing that people can watch that isn't F1 Academy apparently and isn't
Exactly.
Formula 3 and Formula 2.
Yeah, you
like
have other things that
you
people
have other
can
things
watch.
that people can watch. Just broadcast them. Like honestly, like just do that, and don't put more work on the drivers than the teams. Ugh, it's ridiculous.
More work and less time to do it.
And less time to do
Yeah.
it all. Yeah, just makes it harder. I didn't mind the sprint. Like it's fun to watch a sprint race. It's interesting to watch them in a shorter format because they do drive a little different. It's kind of exciting. I liked it last year though when it was just there were only 3, and it's kind of part of the setup.
Yeah, it's
so.
part of the whole
Yeah,
weekend. It's
exactly.
not its own distinct thing.
When I learned about that this one wasn't the setup, I like watching it,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this is kind of interesting, but it loses a lot of the stakes for me. Like, it's like,
Yeah,
kind
except
of,
the stakes are still there for them, and
Right.
maybe even more so for the drivers
because it's just points.
because it's points.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of points, but it's points.
But
like
it is. It could make
Charles
a difference.
Leclerc more than doubled his points for the season just at the sprint race.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
That
Yeah.
was wild because he only had 6 points this whole season so far.
And he got
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, as a way to shake up the championship more often by chucking in
Yeah.
more points in different environments that could
Yeah.
favor other cars, that's interesting.
I'm not against the idea of a sprint
right,
race
right.
or the idea that it gets you points instead of changing the grid order. I kind of want it to just be one qualifying, and that sets you up for the sprint race and for the Grand Prix. And then the sprint race gets you points, but it doesn't change the order. I think that's how it should be. So you're doing a little bit less, but also, yeah, it's a lot.
Wild.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It really, I think it's really going to help Leclerc because that car cannot
True.
go 50 plus laps against a Red Bull.
That's
but it
true.
can go 17.
That's true.
Totally. I mean, clearly it
That's
can.
interesting.
Yeah,
So we'll
that's a
see.
good point. That's a good point.
I don't know. I'm tentatively feeling it out for myself. But I don't
yeah,
like the
I mean,
one
like-
practice element.
Yeah,
That's-
they just.
when
I'd rather
may-
see it if they had more data.
Maybe it's 2, but like
Oh,
either
it was
way,
1 this weekend.
It was okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't
Maybe
remember.
they'll change that next time.
I hope so because that's
That's
ridiculous.
just to go from 3 to 1.
Especially on a difficult track like Baku. Like
know.
that track is so strange. I love the track. I think it's a beautiful city and like fun to watch, and it's interesting.
It's cool.
It's cool.
It's
but
really
it's
cool.
weird and it's hard to figure out the setup on it. Biggest losers?
Biggest losers.
Biggest losers. Who? Oh man, Bottas.
Alfa Romeo in general.
Alfa Romeo. Rough weekend. Not looking good.
Where was Bottas? He was like,
Bottas. I don't.
He had three
Pit
four
stops?
Pit stops
When everyone else did 1?
yeah, right.
Like,
Almost
Come
not
on.
even one.
yeah. Honestly, 2 people went the whole race without pit stopping. Hulkenberg and Ocon
Yeah.
didn't pit until the last lap.
And both of them started from the pit lane.
And they
What
both
the-
started from the pit lane. Yeah.
It was such a
incredible.
And that's wild to me because
Bizarre.
the medium. Okay, also biggest loser, the medium tires from Pirelli. Come on, 10 laps, you're getting the deg on that, but your hard tires can go the entire race.
It
That's such a
doesn't-
big difference. That's
wild.
ridiculous. That shouldn't be happening. That doesn't register as correct. I don't understand it. But so medium tires, Pirelli, you're a loser. It was a weird one. Like I feel like there was a lot less competition in the back of the grid than normal this season.
The back of the grid was like set for like most of
For
the
most
race.
of the race, yeah.
Except
Even
for
those close follows
Gasly
Except
got
for
some
Gasly.
good passes.
Yep.
at the end.
He just does it. I can't remember if I put him
Gasly
on my team. but I meant
actually
to.
is one of the biggest losers this weekend. He got like 2 passes at the end.
Yeah,
But,
I mean,
like,
he didn't.
Alpine had
He
that
had
did not
bad
have
luck.
that car doing right. Like the Alpine biggest loser didn't work out for Ocon, didn't work
Yeah.
out for Gasly. Rough weekend, inconsistent, lots of issues.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see some good fantasy points from Gasly. Is all I'm saying.
Oh sure,
But
because
in
of all
ways
the passes.
that didn't
Yeah.
really matter to the overall outcome.
I
of the
keep
race.
forgetting about fantasy. I haven't touched that in
I
a
know.
long
I haven't
time.
done anything with
Yeah.
it.
Me and Levi, who's in our league, dropped all the Ferrari from our team. So we are
call.
like, this is why they did better this weekend.
Oh,
'cause
sure.
We dropped them from our team.
Yeah.
So,
Good call.
yeah.
Way to help out
We'll
Ferrari.
keep it there. Yeah, good for you guys.
Good for you guys. Wow.
Oh man. Okay, who else? Biggest losers? Any other big losers?
I think
Max.
Max. I also think Hamilton
you,
lost out
Max.
on
Mercedes
the pit stop.
had a rough weekend.
Yeah.
Overall.
Yeah,
George
'cause
had
George-
a rough qualifying.
and George had a rough restart. Which
And they
he-
were also looking terrible just like on any of the straights.
Oh my god, they
like,
could not catch up. The battle
Yeah.
between Sainz and Hamilton was so painful.
Painful.
Can't even overtake
What?
with DRS.
Do you know what's up with the rear wing thing?
I don't know what's up with the rear wing, but they're I don't know.
Because it was something about every other team brought a new rear wing.
Right.
And they
except
didn't.
Mercedes.
Yeah.
And it was clear all the issues they were having were clearly around
Yeah.
them, their rear
Not
wing.
doing
Like
that.
their DRS didn't
Well,
give them much at all. Like,
and I just have to think
Yeah.
that they decided to put that money into something else that's going to benefit them more in the future.
for sure.
Potentially changing the side pod situation. Who knows? Because that's expensive. But so if you're going to bring upgrades, bring them later and bring them big. Because they're historically not great at Baku anyways.
Yeah,
yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense.
it does make sense.
Yeah. So I don't know, but biggest losers for sure.
Yeah.
One of the some of the biggest losers.
At
But
least not
I'd say
terrible.
Max biggest loser
Yeah.
and sorest loser.
Such a sore loser.
'Cause literally everyone in the world agrees that that was a racing incident, and they both fought hard for that in the sprint. And I'm
In the
referring
sprint
to the
race.
sprint race,
Totally, yeah.
where he got mad about George running into him,
Hitting the side of his car.
hitting the
And
side of his car.
took damage.
It
and
did.
That's upsetting.
It is,
But like, what
but
actually
you also didn't
happened
give
was,
him more space, and
Yeah.
he
It-
wasn't going to slow down, and
it
that's
was
a racing
both
incident.
of them
like
went a little bit too risky.
Yeah.
and it didn't work out.
And
And that's
that-
like it.
happens. Neither of you wanted to
What-
concede. That's
so
what happens.
happened.
Yeah.
That's what happens. All the interviews with Russell after was like, I thought he was gonna come up to me and say like, "Good fight,
Yeah,
good
like, good
fight,"
tussle, like,
and
yeah.
I really didn't think he'd be that mad at me.
Yeah.
It's like
So
yeah.
weird.
It's a wild reaction.
Yeah. He
I feel like I didn't even hear Christian Horner defending Max.
Oh,
in
no.
that. Like when he was asked about it, he was
I
like,
mean,
yeah, no, that was a hard one. And,
yeah. There
Yeah.
was a slight comment about it of
oh, yeah.
about like, oh yeah,
the
and you
radio.
made the
Max.
pass without touching him, blah blah blah. Yeah, you can do it without hitting him.
Was that Horner though, or was that Max's race?
No, I think it was.
I thought that was
Horner.
Horner.
Okay.
Yeah, and so it was kind of a dig, but it was to Max.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was probably just more really just trying to give Max the confidence to keep moving forward and let it go is what I think that was.
Totally. Yeah, just
Honestly.
feel like
Yeah,
Christian
absolutely.
being like,
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen that a lot from him.
Oh,
lately.
totally.
It was
Yeah.
like- but yeah, and then Max lost out under the safety car
True.
as well during the actual race.
Yeah. But that brings us to biggest winners. Checo.
Street Fighter
Checo.
Checo.
Street Fighter Checo.
Incredible.
Incredible race. And like and this isn't to his discredit, because I think it helped him. Sure, the safety car situation helped him, but he was fighting in that race, and he had better pace than
Absolutely.
Max.
Yeah, he did.
And he made the gap happen, and Max really should have been able to catch him and should have been able to pass him and get in DRS range and make that happen, but he couldn't because Checo did that shit.
Yeah.
Checo did that.
Incredible.
It was so good to watch. Such a good race. That was fun. Mm-hmm. And now he's within what, 7 points now?
6
points.
6 point difference.
Because he won both races.
Oh yeah, he won the
Yes.
sprint
It was
race.
a double.
Big
Oh yeah.
Checo win.
When he
Big Checo
he
race.
corrected.
Oh yeah,
He said,
you've won here twice now, and he goes 2.5 times. Because he won 2 years ago also, right? Yeah, in Baku. So yeah,
man.
the only track that he's won twice at is Baku, and he's won 2.5 times.
And now he has more career wins than Leclerc, which I also think is wild.
Okay, that is
And-
wild.
And nobody else has won twice at that track.
Right,
He's the
right.
only person. No one else has repeat wins there.
That's wild.
Okay, that is wild.
Yeah.
That's bizarre. It's just good. I mean, but he's been looking great all season.
I know.
And I'm excited. I think he's got the momentum, and he's got the drive, and the he wants
gets it,
it.
yeah.
He wants it.
I really think with enough just luck / strategy things going his way instead of Max,
Yeah.
just at a couple key points, I think he could really do it.
Honestly.
if he keeps going like this.
If there's just one DNF from Max, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like that would probably swing the points enough to give him the advantage moving forward. Oh man. Great
Yeah.
great weekend for Checo. Great weekend.
So what
for
we're
Checo.
saying is George Russell, keep going after Max's car.
Yes.
Get him to DNF.
Do you get the elbows out?
Yeah.
I love that. Oh man, that's funny. I would call George a winner for that moment. Also,
Just
he also had a really great sprint race.
Great sprint race.
Great sprint race. He had great Saturday, Friday and Sunday. Not his
so
best,
much,
but Saturday he had a great day. Oh man, that's funny. Other winners.
Leclerc.
Yes.
Yeah.
Finally on the
Ferrari is on the podium. Leclerc is on the podium where he belongs. Sainz.
podium.
Yeah, not feeling as comfortable in the car yet, but
I don't think I have laid eyes on signs.
I don't think I
this
saw
weekend at
him.
all.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're like, I'm like, where
is he just?
I forgot
like,
about.
Yeah,
him
he's
a
just
little
like
bit.
hanging out between Alonso and Hamilton, right? Like all race, but he was like comfortably like far between for most of it.
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
until the end.
So funny, but Leclerc, so good to see him on the podium again.
I know.
Yeah. Although it was confusing for me because both of the drivers didn't seem happy.
They have not seemed happy for a while.
And I'm like, Leclerc, like, you should, like, this is an exciting moment, right? Like, you had a really good weekend. He just didn't look thrilled.
I think it's still like he's like, there's no actual chance of me fighting.
Sure.
That's not in sight yet.
So it's a bummer
So it kinda
still.
sucks.
That's fair. That's fair. Because
Yeah.
they still can't take that fight to Red Bull.
No, Red Bull
Yeah.
still is like
Yeah,
far
there's
and
no chance
away.
right now.
Everyone's always just like, well, there's
Yeah.
just no chance.
It's
against
true.
Red Bull.
It's true. But it's good to have Ferrari in our winners for the first time this season.
Seriously.
Yeah,
Been
you
the
should feel
losers every other-
honored.
You should feel honored for us to consider you winners. Because, yeah, we've been waiting for it, though. We love Ferrari. We do. We like Carlos. We like Charles. I want to see them do well. I do. I want to see them doing better. I want to see Carlos doing better.
I know.
Yeah.
Carlos has been kind of like
Yeah, I don't
phoning
know.
it in.
I think
That's
the
what it feels
car is
like.
just a little bit bad right now.
Yeah.
And I think that Leclerc is digging deep and finding a way to make it work.
Mm.
And I think Sainz is just like,
Kind of checked out. Like,
just
I
like
don't
this
want...
is so hard to do. Like,
Sure.
Yeah.
This is not worth that effort.
Right.
Because, like, at best, I'm getting close to fighting with Leclerc.
Yeah, because like even Leclerc
Yeah.
in post race interview today was like, I never thought about racing with the Red Bulls.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wasn't
It was
worth
like
it.
they came up to me, I got out of the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was just
Just let him pass.
yeah.
There's no way. Yeah.
That's true.
That can't feel good. You know?
No. That you can't take the fight to the front. Yeah. It's true. Rough. Yeah, it's true. It was like watching Hamilton last year.
I know.
Just sad.
Just sad.
Like, I mean, putting in the work,
But
but
sad.
like sad. Like, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
love
where I wanna be.
Hamilton this year.
This year, Hamilton.
and last year
yeah.
had to happen
Yeah.
to get him here, and
I agree.
I love it.
Well, and he
So
put in the
good.
work last year. Like,
did,
all credit
yeah,
to him because, like,
absolutely.
he kept his attitude up enough, and he put in the work to make sure that the team had the data to
Totally.
try. Yeah. And he's in a much better mindset this year because it's not
He's
a
much
surprise.
happier.
He's so much happier. Like, he's been enjoying fighting. He's been
Yeah.
enjoying like driving not at the front and like having battles with people and going back and forth and like, yeah, it's
great.
good to see him happy again.
Speaking of happy, Alonso is also happy.
Alonso is also very happy.
So
Alonso.
Although first time not on the podium this season,
Yeah. True.
right.
but
But
still
I would
great
still
race for
say-
Aston Martin. Yeah.
The radio message giving
I-
Lance advice.
Right.
Tell Lance to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The one I liked was when Lance was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna fight with him," and then he's like, "I don't care, let him fight."
Tell him to fight me.
like,
they were like, just to be clear,
Like-
Stroll isn't gonna go for it, and he was like,
he's
he
like,
can go for
he's
it.
like, he could do that if he
Whatever.
wants
Why
to. Like, let him try.
Give him a shot.
So funny. The dynamic on that team is so interesting.
It's so
fascinating.
funny.
I love it. Because he's never been about the team. Honestly,
I know.
he's always only been about himself.
It's such
so like,
a departure from
seeing him be a part of a team is weird. Yeah.
being a full-on team
Right.
player.
From everything we've heard about him, from all of his history in the sport, Like, come on.
And
Like,
now
what are you
he's
doing?
like so
Yeah.
buddy with Hamilton, saying things like, I would love, like, if him and I retired at the same year, it would be such a special thing.
What?
It's like, what is going on?
Taylor's doing good for
I
him.
was just gonna say,
That'd be hilarious. What if that's it? That's so funny. No, I don't know what it is, but good for him. Good for him. McLaren, I gotta say, winners this
They were
this race,
mid,
'cause they're-
which was a huge
yes,
improvement.
huge improvement.
Good job, I guess.
It was, yeah. It just like it. It was nice to see them starting or like, yeah, fighting around the area that they should have been in race 1, and that's what they were going for in race 1. But it's just nice to see them back at that place. So winners. I'm glad you brought this upgrade.
yeah,
It worked well.
I would say Yuki's a winner.
Yuki had a great weekend.
Second time
Yeah.
scoring.
He's
point
looking
in
good.
that AlphaTauri.
In the car is looking bad.
Oh,
The car is
terrible.
He's looking good.
Yeah.
The car is terrible.
The car is terrible. AlphaTauri biggest losers. We didn't talk about Nick DeVries too. The only crash of the race, one of 2 DNFs, and yeah, all his own fault. He ran into
Yeah, it was a driving error for sure.
ran into the wall on the approach, which shouldn't happen, and then ran into the wall. Of course, yeah. But I'm glad for Yuki. Happy for Yuki. He had a good race.
He's clearly the team lead.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just good to see him driving confidently and doing a decent job with a terrible car.
Terrible car.
Terrible car. Terrible car. Albon had a good weekend too, except not a great race. I thought he was going to do better in the race.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sprint complicates it, right? Because
It does.
there's just more things, which I guess is good. Like, people can have a good Saturday
And a
not
bad Sunday.
and a bad
Yeah.
It evens
Sunday.
out. But I mean, that's also
Maybe.
just part of it. Like,
That's
you have
part
a
of the
bad
sport. Yeah.
race.
If you have a bad race, then you had a bad race.
Yeah.
That's the point. Yeah.
I don't know. I find myself like overwhelmed with the amount of things.
It's
to
too
keep
much.
track.
It's too much. It's
Like-
hard.
Yeah,
Like I
got
can't remember.
in F1
Yeah.
because it doesn't have a bunch of games every week.
Yeah.
Right.
This is a
It's
easy
easier
sport
to
to follow.
Exactly.
Don't take it away.
Come
Yeah.
on, keep it simple.
Keep it simple, stupid. FIA. Definitely a
Yeah.
lot of losers. Yeah.
And a lot of like just medium, like
Yeah.
fizzled out.
Like
kind of.
whatever. Haas, medium, and
Yeah. Well, I don't know what
The
losers.
Hulkenberg.
The Hulkenberg.
Hulkenberg just
That was confusing, but there was an engine penalty, right? So he had
He started
because
from
he
the
started
pit
from the
lane.
pit lane, so that was going to be a struggle no matter what.
But the,
They made a weird strategy choice that didn't. Well, it just didn't pay off. It wasn't a bad
It was
strategy choice. It was the
reliant
same
on-
as Ocon.
safety car,
um,
yeah.
Yeah, and reliant on a late safety car specifically, and the only safety car happened early, which is kind of strange. This is usually a track that can get some safety cars.
Yeah, to like the credit of Nick DeVries, normally there's more people hitting the corners like
It's
that.
true.
Like, it's
Well,
really
not necessarily at that spot.
not that spot,
and not
but
in that
it's
way.
A
but
lot, you know.
definitely. And he's still a rookie. Yeah.
True.
They
true.
just like really hyped him up coming into this sport this season, and everyone was
Exactly.
thinking he was gonna beat out Yuki like right away, and Yuki's like, "Nah, I got this." So good.
Apparently, Franz Tost said that by, I think, 2025, he thinks that Yuki could take Checo's seat.
Whoa,
Yeah, I think
that's cool.
I do think that would be a possibility, except for if Checo keeps driving like this.
Exactly.
Like that was in the scenario
Yes.
where Checo was the clear number 2 driver,
Yeah.
and you're just swapping those out. That's pretty easy. But
But
when you
then-
have 2 people fighting
Yes.
consistently for the
Yeah.
top,
You're not wrong. You're not. If
Drop
he
one
keeps
of
driving
those.
at this level, he may stay.
Yeah.
He might outlast Max.
I
Because
don't
Max-
know.
I wish.
Max floated retiring at the end of his contract, like not so casually.
That was
Yeah.
a negotiating tactic.
No, it's after he had that contract. He's been talking about
He
it
doesn't
this
like
season.
how he
He's
doesn't
like,
like
the
all the
sport
media
is
stuff
too
around the sport.
much.
Yeah.
That they keep adding things. He hates the sprint races. He hates them, and like he just feels like it's just a lot. Like the sport is just a lot. So to give that much to just one thing and not be able to do anything else for the rest of your life. Like
No, you're right about that.
he's been
You're right
saying
about
that
Max.
like consistently. He's like, I'm not sure I want to stay with it.
I have
But
a
we'll
ton
see.
of respect for
Yeah.
professional athletes that go out there, do something good, and then they're like, all right, I'm
Done.
out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like he's in it through 2026. He has a contract. So he's planning to, and that's a long contract.
That is a long contract.
It's longer than anybody else on the grid.
Right.
So and he's committed to that, and he's not sure if he would can say right now if he even wants to stay in the sport after that is his point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a
Because
long time.
also knowing he's probably going to win another couple of championships. and,
Totally.
most likely.
Yeah.
So
Do
what's
everything he can
at a
when he's
certain
at the
time,
peak
like,
right now.
exactly.
Get out.
He's like, yeah,
Respect
just be
that.
done with it. Like, I don't need to win the most championships.
And he's
I
even
know
said
I'm
that after the
yeah.
first one, he's like, yeah,
He
now I've
doesn't care
gotten
as
one,
much.
I don't really care.
Yeah. Great.
Driver of the day?
Checo.
I agree.
Checo.
Fully.
Definitely.
With Yuki actually probably being second for me. He had a really impressive race.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Checo
But
for sure.
Checo. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was just good to see him. That was fun. He had a clean race too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, just going back and forth on the fastest lap with Max, like that's cool to see. In a car that's built for Max.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
wild. Like, go Checo.
It's exciting.
That's
Very
very exciting. Time for listener questions.
Yes. This listener question comes from me.
Well, you listen.
I am a listener.
yeah.
So
Absolutely. If you have a question for us, anything related to F1, we want to answer it to the best of our ability. Send us your questions to motosportpod@gmail.com.
Bow, bow, bow. Bow, bow, bow. All right, so the question is, if you were stranded on an island and had to choose 3 drivers to bring with you to help you survive, who would you choose and why?
Okay, wait, on an island?
Yeah, just if you were stranded
Stranded,
on an
survival, to work together. Okay.
I can go first.
Yeah,
You want-
okay, yeah, please
Okay.
do.
So the 3 I would bring was bring George, I would bring Valtteri, and I would bring Yuki.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Let me tell you why.
Yeah.
George would be project manager on all things survival. He would just give him the power to do that. I feel like he would step into that role nicely and would have no problem bossing everyone around to get
True.
what needs to be done. And then Valtteri, I feel like, would just put in the work and do what George says. And
Valtteri's a team player.
We know that Valtteri is a team
Yeah.
player.
Definitely.
And I think that I was back and forth between Yuki and Albin to bring, because you need someone to
Okay.
who's going to break the tension and
Lighten the
who's
mood.
going to lighten the mood. I know that Yuki probably won't be the biggest team player, but the reason I chose him is because eventually I feel like everyone would get really fed up with George, and I think that because if I wanted to turn people
Got
against
strategy already.
if I wanted to usurp George, I would need to get the numbers on my side. And because
I love
Albin
this.
and George are friends in life, I
Oh,
don't
sure.
think I could get Albin on my side, but
Sure.
we know that Yuki is a loyal friend.
So for this coup to work.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
need to have Yuki be.
But
I
you-
need to befriend Yuki and have him become as loyal to me as he was to Pierre Gasly. And then
Yes.
Valtteri, I think I could get on my side pretty easily.
Sure.
And then we'd have the numbers to.
To overtake George.
Get
but
rid
you
of George.
need George
So,
there for the
yeah.
beginning.
We need George there for the beginning.
Okay. To get set up. To
Yeah.
set up your new
This is
island
like
society.
A metaphor for the Russian Revolution.
Right? There's a lot of this
People
is
who were needed in the beginning maybe were too violent to stay on, needed another
Sure.
revolution.
yeah.
Exactly.
Man, this is some Game of Thrones shit. This is yeah. I didn't expect this question to go that far. I appreciate it though. That's amazing. Oh man. I also definitely would say Valtteri Bottas. He was the first one I thought of. I was like, good team player, gonna put in the work and reliable. And
he's just got those like island vibes. I feel like he would lean into it.
Yeah, he would. He would thrive on an island for sure. And would also bring some balance. We'd probably go skinny dipping. Yeah, work hard, play hard. That's Valtteri. I'd probably say, I don't know if I'd bring George. I don't know that I'd bring Yuki either. Yuki would be fun though.
But you could also be probably not.
Yeah,
fun, though,
yeah.
as well.
But I'd probably actually, you
That's
know
I'm
what?
trying to figure out
Yeah.
with Yuki.
I'd
I think
probably-
at my 2, I need to think of it.
Yeah. Wait, you would bring Yuki?
I'm
He's
considering
deciding.
Yuki for
Oh,
my
sure,
third.
sure.
I don't know.
I'd probably for my second. I'd probably do Zhou Guanyu, actually.
So you
'Cause
bring the whole Alfa Romeo team.
I guess so. Yeah. It just
Look,
so
we're
happens.
not talking about racing.
No.
No,
okay?
not talking about racing. And
No.
also, they're both good drivers. Let's be
Yes.
clear. Is it bad car? Bad management, maybe? Yes. But, or just not caring management. Who knows? Because ownership's changing. It's all confusing. Anyways, Zhou Guanyu, I think, would also be a good silent leader. Yeah. Just like a good, calm presence to have around.
Yeah, a good role model.
A good role model and like might keep people in place. And not a leader I'd have to overthrow later.
Right. That's what I'm like. I'm trying to plan around that.
I'm gonna plan to try.
I thought about saying Alonso
Sure.
in
Oh,
a similar
funny.
thing of like put him in charge
Yeah,
right
give him-
away. And I don't think he would be bad.
Alonso.
Like I think there's a scenario where he could be a good person to have.
I agree.
I think at a certain point he'd become that. He'd become the dictator,
Right.
and the hoarding.
Hoarding of resources.
the hoarding of resources and distribution would be up to him. And I don't trust him.
Okay.
Although who knows? He's softened lately.
I think I have my 3.
Okay.
Yuki's in.
Yuki's
Oh,
in.
Yuki's in.
Yuki, Bottas, and Albon. And it's just gonna be chill vibes.
That actually sounds like a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
That
sounds
sounds like a
just
great
sounds like a
time.
good time, but they can, put in the work and have if Yuki's a little shit, that's fine. That's a fine dynamic.
That's hilarious.
It's gonna be fun.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that.
And Bottas, I feel like can really get shit done.
Although
but
we
I
all
think he
pick
can also
Bottas, yeah.
chill. Like
Oh, totally.
Totally.
he's that
Yeah.
perfect balance where you gotta have him there.
exactly.
I agree. I think Bottas is like the easy choice
Yeah.
to
Right?
go to,
Yeah.
which
The
is funny. Yeah.
Helpful, and I want to hang out with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. And Yuki and Albon. Okay. Can I pick Daniel for my third?
I think you can, and I would not.
Yeah, right.
I can take Yuki being a little shit. I can't take
See,
Ricardo being
okay,
a little shit.
Okay. Yeah. I might want Yuki over Daniel. That's a tough choice. If it has to be
I
great,
would be
too.
sick of him in 2 days.
That might
Gotta
be
be.
fair.
Yeah,
Right?
the jolliness.
He might go
I feel
too
like
too
is a
hard
lot.
into the jolliness. Yeah. That's funny.
I feel like not everything is a joke, Daniel.
Yeah. Guys, look at my coconuts. Oh man. But like his luck, he would, or like he'd go to the other side of the island and then get picked up by,
I know.
by like a boat.
Christian Horner's driving by.
Yeah,
and
like
picks
on
him
a
up.
yacht, and he's like, "Oh hi." Oh man. Okay, you're right. I don't want Daniel around.
Wait, who are you two? You said Valtteri.
Well, I said 2, but I haven't said a third. I said Valtteri and Zhou Guanyu. So I got the Alfa Romeo team.
Right.
I'm just trying to think if there's
Or you throw
anybody.
in Alonso.
I'm not throwing Alonso in there. I'd say, yeah, I'm gonna go with Yuki. Why not? I love that. I love it. Yeah.
So Bottas and
Bottas
Yuki
and Yuki
are
are for sure.
essential.
And then depending on which one of us is there, which actually makes sense that one person has to change the dynamic. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like this. So, okay, wait. So, and then you had
I had George.
Yeah, who you're going to
Vouching.
overthrow at some
Yes.
point and maybe kill and eat.
The plan is to overthrow George eventually, but he's got to set up society
Yeah.
first.
And then we'll kill him because we didn't like the society he set up, but we needed it.
Exactly.
I love it. And then I would take Joe Guan Yu, and you would take Alex Albon.
Yes.
I do like Alex. That's a good choice. That's
I think
a fun
Alex
one. Yeah.
would be, if I didn't have my heart dead set on getting rid of George Russell, I would bring Alex Albon.
Yeah.
Or how about this? Me, Yuki, Albon, Max, because having a common enemy can unite a group of people. So the three of us will get so close and be in total opposition to Max.
You know, also, it would also just be fun to bring Max just to watch him deteriorate.
Exactly.
Like completely crumble without the support of his rich
Triangle of
surroundings.
sadness.
And yes. Well, yeah.
It's like, uh-oh.
We could easily get into a tangent. We got so many spin-off podcasts we could do.
Right.
Y'all, we're good at talking.
That's true.
That's
Our
true.
20-some Instagram followers would agree.
Absolutely.
42.
42.
Hey, we've got more on TikTok, too.
Yes, we do have
A
close
lot
to
more.
600 on TikTok.
Ayo.
Wow.
Famous.
So we're famous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look out, Pit Stop Boys.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Fuck you, Pit Stop Boys.
Fuck you, Pit Stop Boys.
Already forgot about them. That's amazing. All right.
There are sworn enemies.
They
Yeah.
are, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do hate them.
Yes.
We
And
are.
They hate us. They're threatened
Well,
by us.
They started this.
Yes.
Let's be clear.
Yeah.
Anyways, Midwest moment. Let's do it. Do y'all have one?
I mean, I think we might have the same one.
I've got two.
Okay, so my first one mine is the zipper merge situation.
Oh, yeah.
After the red flags
qualifying.
in the qualifying when
Yeah.
they were all in the pit lane and it looked like just a disaster of cars trying to get in
Yeah.
line. And
And you got people who are clearly not in a gap who are like, I'm going to be here and I'm creating
it's
a
like,
gap.
do you know
And
how
like,
a zipper
that's-
merge works?
That's not how that goes. Like,
and people in Minnesota don't know how
don't.
a zipper merge works.
Don't.
the worst
They
thing.
are angry at zipper merging.
Yeah.
They are.
They hate zipper
They
merging.
hate it.
And
They're
everyone
actively against it.
They're like,
actively
I
making
want
it worse
a whole
for
lane
everybody.
for myself. Like
Yeah.
every single entrance and exit in Minnesota is a zipper merge type entrance and exit.
Every
Like,
single one.
get used to it. We have to. This is what our system
and
is
it's
built
not
on.
hard. And if you do
No.
it correctly,
Yeah.
it
doesn't slow
functions
things
properly.
down. Yeah, you're fine.
It just works well.
It
I've
does.
seen it. When people just do it.
But
it just
people are
works.
mad. They're always like, no, you can't be here. I'm going to rush to the bumper so you can't get in. And that, I'm like, but that's the gap. Like, if you didn't do that, then they wouldn't have to slow down and slow down everybody behind you. Like, just let them
It
in
would
there.
solve a lot of traffic issues.
Yeah. Leave the 3-second gap on the highway. Please. Please. This is now driver's ed.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what I had.
No, that's a good one. That was a good one. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, that's best so far for me. That's really direct.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a really
Good one.
direct compare. Yep.
Yeah. Straightforward. Did you have one?
No, I was thinking about in a driving type situation the George Russell cut through in the
In the pit
in
lane.
the pit lane.
In the pit lane. Yeah.
I was
Oh,
like,
what he
that's
did.
some weird aggressive driving.
Yeah, how he did it on like
Yeah.
around the outside of Ocon.
And it was
that
like
was
some
weird.
sort of technical thing that it was fine.
Yeah.
Right. That
But
it
I
was
was like,
allowed.
Whoa.
I was
what is
like,
that?
yeah, that's strange.
Totally.
Yeah.
And apparently it was a smart move.
It like cut his time down a little
Yeah,
bit.
so that it helped him.
Yeah.
Cool. I had two moments. The first one was actually Alonso helping Stroll. Because that's a very Minnesota thing. It's like, oh, hey, yeah, you know, if you just flip the switch on the engine over there, you get a lot better mileage. You know, the balance will be better, and like that feels like Minnesota,
Fully.
like, you don't have to do that. You're like, you don't have to help him out. There's nothing about it that, like, he's not having a bad time. Nobody asked you to say, hey, what's going on? What's working for you?
Right.
Like, he was just like, oh yeah, hey, maybe help out this kid.
Help
Yeah.
out
You
this
know,
kid.
like,
That's
We're
totally...
doing the same thing.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
he's not gonna beat me, so let me give him a hand. Yeah. And it was
totally
cute,
is.
and it felt like a nice, like, local Minnesota moment for me. Yeah. And then actually one of our listeners had a moment that texted me right after the
Really?
race. Yeah. Shout out Glenn. Glenn says, yeah, his Minnesota moment was, oh yeah, all the turns that the drivers just kept sliding into. Just get like a video montage of all those moments, and that's Minnesota driving in a nutshell. Just like a lot of swinging tails, also bumping into corners that don't really make sense to bump into. Doesn't, like, why are you clipping the entry corner on something? Like, multiple cars, not just Nick DeVries. He wasn't the only car to hit that. It was
Right.
multiple people. Yeah. So funny. Yeah, not just a rookie moment, just like Minnesota moments. Everyone sliding all
so
over the
funny.
place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
I mean, they literally had a third of the practice time.
Yeah.
I know.
Right? Oh, it's true. It's true. So it's tough. It's hard to get everything right in the balance and the setup. And I think that's why everyone was like changing their setups while they were driving this race. Like Max talked about that a lot. Alonso did it. Stroll did it. Like, yeah, that
Yeah.
whole situation.
They were like, I was just playing around.
I was just playing around with settings to see what would work because they didn't have practice time. Ridiculous. Yeah. But yeah, if we did a comparison of like all those slides with just like any Minnesota winter driving footage, it's
fully.
like, that's it. We'd be great in F1. No, I'm kidding. That's like bad in F1.
Right.
You shouldn't be sliding. Yeah. All right.
Good
So thank you
stuff.
for that submission, Glenn. A lot of good Minnesota moments on this one. Yeah.
Meaning a lot of bad driving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mostly bad driving.
When there's bad driving,
With the-
there's great Minnesota moments.
Yes. Best drivers in the world, worst driving. Minnesota moments.
Great.
Is that it?
Yeah, we're
Man.
done.
Wait, we always we have
Give us an outro.
Thanks for listening, and see you in Miami.
Yeah. Miami. Had to be done.
Great outro.
Yeah. We'll see you next time. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Guys, look at my coconut.